one. Between a canal and a river? I bet you can't. I bet you can't. Yes?
I think rivers are fresher than canals.
Yes, they are, but that's not the difference. One second, yes?
I think that like a canal is where people walk, and then after a river is like where people use boats and things like that.
No?
I think they have different things inside of them.
No?
I think rivers
Yeah?
they were naturally
Yes.
made, and canals were man-made.
Exactly
That's
right.
right.
The canal run right from Woolworth Road, doesn't it? It started at Woolworth Road, right away. Then it branched off at Brighton Falcon Bridge, branched off to go up to Rye Lane, and then carried on down through to Old Kent Road.
Yeah.
I think it probably terminated in the Thames, obviously. It had to terminate somewhere. There was bomb damage over there where Burgess Park is, because, I mean, they did put bombs over there because they thought that was of importance, because it was a canal. You know, this is why they sort of bombed it. Where I lived in St George's Way on the corner of East Surrey Grove, and as I say, the houses in front of us got bombed. East Surrey Grove got bombed, quite a bad up there it was. You know, and there was quite a lot of damage all around there, really. I mean, you know, it was in and out the shelter after bloody night. We had to play local because, I mean, if the siren went, you know, your mother come out and called you, like, you know, come on, in you come, like, and we had to go in, so you couldn't play far away, so the canal would, and there was a nice convenient place to play, you know.
I remember there was lots of local industry. There was R. White's, the lemonade factory, which is along from where Cholmondeley Gardens is now. The Sunpat peanut butter factory in Parkhouse Street. The very big Samuel Jones gummed label factory, which was in Peckham Grove.
There was loads of factories around here.
I remember always the wood and the barges coming up with the wood. That's my memory.
Don't forget they had all the boats along the river. You didn't get it all going by the car, they all went down on the old barges, which I can remember that. My nan used to often take me down to Tower Bridge.
Yeah, there was quite a lot of activity going on down there. There used to be barges down there sometimes, and we used to be able to jump on the barges and have a look round, and yeah, it's quite fun.
I don't think I remember it being used for any real transport of goods, but I do remember seeing barges at the top end. I don't know how late or early that was. And I remember going to someone's birthday party where halfway along Albany Road there's a road called Canal Street. You would have had access to her house by going down there and then along the bank of the canal.
If you go down and you walk down past it, you can still see, or you could still see rings in the walls where the barges used to be moored up. When we used to bunk in, our main big thing was just like kind of sitting there taking shoes off and stitching our feet, things like that, what we could find, what we could throw in. Typical child. We used to sometimes just stand on the bridge and watch what was going on below.
We used to play on the canal opposite, the turning's not there now, East Surrey Grove. There used to be all bombed houses over there, and we was able to get across there because when the houses was built, obviously you couldn't get across because, you know, but being they knocked down, we could get onto the banks of the canal. And we used to play in there, and we used to, like, had a raft that we used to go up and down there, and where the bombed houses was, we used to take the doors off and, you know, nick the doors off of the bombed houses and put on the canal, like, and a bit of wood for a paddle sort of thing, and away we went. Oh, we had quite a good time in there, like, you know. One of them fell in, didn't he? And We dragged him out and took him home. He was wringing wet, soaking wet, and his mum wasn't too pleased. And she said, thanks very much. Anyhow, she made him give us all sixpence out of his pocket money for dragging him out of the canal.
We used to go down the canal. I mean, I'm talking about in the sort of early 50s. It was really a place where if your mum and dad knew you were down there would be trouble because it was dangerous. It wasn't a working canal at the time. The water was still there, and we used to go down there sort of like getting sticklebacks out of the water with nets and all that thing, you know.
I remember that, yeah.
What Ronnie was saying about the doors, you take the doors and put them on the canal, but I mean, it was dangerous.
Must have been 1969, 1970. I remember going there with a couple of friends, and kids had pallets that you get stuff stored on, and inside those pallets there was polystyrene, so it would make them able to float, and there was not much left of the canal by that time, but you could float on there. It was just real fun, and someone worked out that if you put the polystyrene inside the wooden pallets, you could get a little raft on there. And we used to go on there floating and catching sticklebacks. They're like little sort of type fish that, some sort of fish that live in canals, I think. Never come across them since.
I used to come fishing down here with a big piece of wood on a piece of cord, picking up the old sticklebacks. Me and my friends used to come, and my nan used to say, you should have been a boy, not a girl. But I loved it, climbing in the old trees. So there weren't no safety issues then, you just got up and done it. And if you're great, you just wipe yourself up, dust yourself down, and you was off again doing the same.
I do remember it must have been somebody that we knew a little bit about a child who drowned. It was easy access to the banks, and canals have steep sides, not like rivers with a gradual slope, and if you fall in it's very hard to get out. So there were tragedies.
And the more I thought about it, the more I thought, you were an absolute idiot. No, I wasn't. I was a child, and this was my area, and this is what I had to play with, me and my brothers and all the other children in our street.
It was just an idyllic childhood, like the bomb sites and all that, and the adventures you had as a kid. That was one of the things, when I went onto the Facebook site, I just felt myself, things welling up inside me sort of thing, like, all things that I'd forgotten were coming back, and it was really wonderful. And I mean, when you look back on it now, you'd never let your children do those sort of things or anything because it was dangerous. People got killed in bombed houses, kids got drowned in the canal. I mean, I remember on more than one occasion a kid getting drowned there. But for those of us who sort of came through it, it was a wonderful time.
The bridge wasn't always a bridge to nowhere. We lived in St George's Way, and you walked up and over the bridge to Scarsdale Road, where there was a good fish and chip shop. So that was one of my later childhood errands.
We used to call it the island because it was a bridge. And to us, that bridge, that was, you lived on that side of the island or you lived on this side of the island. That was the thing between. When you met up with new children, we always used to say, or we got asked, what side of the island are you from?
For nearly everything we did or went to, we needed to cross the Wellsway Bridge, and the canal ran under that.
That bridge, I got shot at on that bridge as well. What would I have been? And no one was going to Brownies, so I must have been, 7, 8. And I was going up the bridge, and there was a young boy standing at the top, and I saw him point something, but I couldn't see what it was. I just saw him point, and then I heard a pop thing, and the next thing I know, I felt something go into my face, and it was and then there was blood And I turned around and I ran all the way home to my father. And he just literally, I tried to tell him what had happened, and he's grabbed hold of me, ran all the way back up the road. And the lad was still up on the bridge. He was still on the bridge. I think I made the South London Press front page.
Another thing that's come to mind, where Trafalgar Bridge is now, but still there, there used to be a barrage balloon there on the corner, and we used to go and watch it, put the barrage balloon up, like, you know.
Because one of the other things as well, it was the towpath. That started off in Commercial Way, and there was a towpath, and you could walk on that towpath, and you could walk all the way down the canal. And that was a lovely Sunday stroll. A lot of parents did that. That was a lovely Sunday stroll.
Why don't I?
What did you just smell?
We smelled the most dirtiest thing I have ever smelled in my whole history of life.
And what was it?
Canal water.
It wasn't a normal canal in the way that the canals of North London are. It was an extension of Surrey Docks which never achieved, shall we say, independent status, independent of those docks. They themselves closed down part the way through the area we're discussing. Therefore, they weren't in a position to continue to support the canal.
Can you see all the rubbish that was visible when they drained it? You can see there's just piles and piles of wood. Yeah, this is what they happened when they drained the canal. Wood, rubbish, mud, bones.
When they cleared the canal, everybody used to sling things in there, big prams and bikes and all that in there, but they reckon they found a few guns in there as well, you know what I mean?
Someone's saying they found a safe in there. Somebody had done a bit of a robbery, like, and chucked the safe in the canal.
As I go to Millwall Football Club, the old canal used to back onto that, of course, you know, going right the way through, and I remember going over the bridges and things like that. Amazing, really, that going on the road where a canal used to be, you know, it really sort of changed the atmosphere over there, because you've got buildings and houses, businesses, where the canal used to be. Yeah, very, very strange.
It's sad to see it go, because, I mean, it was part of Peckham, really. The canal, you know, went right the way down, and say, you know, because I worked at the gasworks down Old Kent Road, and the canal used to go by there as well.
It was an era of my life that I absolutely loved.
The people round there was a friendly atmosphere around there, you know. You could go down there and people would know you. I mean, I could walk down to St George's Bay and I'd always know someone to talk to, you know, and say hello and all that. But yeah, I mean, I quite enjoyed living down there, really.
To me, my childhood was idyllic.
Oh, that bridge, it was the gateway to trouble, but it was the gateway to fun. It honestly was.